He really believes in it all the time against everybody. Something to be said for that, Amon, right? Like, he's not afraid of anybody.
Whoever system players are out there in the world, they're pure geniuses. They know something that the rest of us don't. But I agree with you. We saw that at the Candidates as well, which is another tournament that I'd commentated on, so it's very familiar. But we kept seeing that new prep from Hikaru. He kind of comes up with a certain system, and as you said, he just kind of spams it. And it's not just like, he does it over and over to no avail. It works, and there's a reason that he keeps going back to it.
But sometimes these positions are so unbelievably dicey. He is a pawn down with questionable compensation in the sense that the pawn on e7 is hanging, and he plays the best move. He understands the position really well. Pawn on c5 will fall. That will allow counterplay to come down the c file. Magnus looking to get the bishop pair and kind of send this game to an endgame where maybe he's going to have the pawn on d5. The thing about Hikaru is that generally in some of these openings that are a little bit on the edge of maybe being called dubious, Magnus somehow knows how to ask Hikaru all the questions, right? He's almost the antidote a little bit to some of Hikaru's opening tricks and hacks. And Amon, I mean, here's a great example. This is a long grinding endgame down a pawn against Magnus.
Yeah, and this is one of those situations where the analysis tells you, okay, we've got ourselves into a position that we can make a draw in, but at the end of the day, like, sometimes you analyze something and it feels a certain way, you see the 0.00, and then you get to the position and you're like, wait a minute, why is this, I'm just down a pawn. What's going on here? So I don't think we're quite at that level just yet, but he's kind of thinking to himself, okay, I'm in my prep, but how do I win this pawn back? You're never taking d5, so it's more about the quality of the pieces and the compensation, which you do need to take into account here.
Hikaru sitting back, though, arms folded, the confident pose. Even if it's digital, he's clearly well hydrated as well. We got 3 towering water bottles in the back. Maybe some psychological warfare there, Amon. We know Magnus always chugging water during these matches. This is the groundbreaking insights that we come here for as the players ponder their middle game setups.
Yeah, and with opposite bishops here, it should be pointed out that the draw is a very, very likely result. Opposite bishops being the bishop on the light square on c4 and the dark square on f6. So that means that I think there's quite a bit of maneuvering in.
We do have the cams there. There they are, hand on the face. Magnus trying to make the extra pawn that Hikaru gave away with his opening pay off. It will be thoroughly blockaded on the opposite color. Draw your attention to these 2 bishops. Opposite color bishops generally lead to many more blockading endgames where even having a 1-pawn advantage does not matter. Also, somehow Hikaru is running circles around the white position despite playing with no rook. He is playing without the second rook, and he's a pawn down, and he's down 2.5 minutes, but he's stabilized the position I'm on. He's a pawn down, but it's zeros.
Yep. Yeah, this is exactly what I was expecting. Stable position, but it's one of those things where at the end of the day, you've got an extra pawn. So yes, it's 0.00, but if you play this on and on and on, eventually that pawn is going to matter. And let's not forget about the time as well. Is this pawn going, well, I mean, now it's definitely going, to d7 and not rook c7, because
again, showing that you can play the Mirror Queen's Gambit against literally the best player in the world and get a completely seamless game, but still don't try this at home.
Yeah,
and, whoa!
Bishop g5?
What?
But Magnus almost sat in, like, immediately. He knew he made a mistake. He was like, what the heck did I just do? I'm in shock, speechless here, Levy. That move is a double question mark. Bishop g5 is a simple pin, and Magnus is just sick. Like, he can't believe it. Like, it's almost like he lost. He thought, oh, he's equalizing, so let me think I can do whatever I want here. Worst case is a draw, and he doesn't even calculate knight d2. He just plays it in stride. What a blunder!
Yeah, I mean, this is the knight moved in front of the king and just gets pinned. Magnus calculated some sort of knight takes f2. He can't believe it. He's disgusted. Sitting back, drumming on the table, and now Amon, he has to summon the will to fight for a draw. He is no longer fighting to prove any advantage. He's fighting not to lose the game in the next 5 to 6 moves.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, he's trying to set something up on like F7, maybe, but I mean, it's just not going to happen. So I guess what bishop takes D2, there's no F5 after that just to strengthen the knight. So, you know, I can sort of see where he's coming from here. Let's not give up on this just yet. I mean, the fact that he found the best continuation in about 20 seconds while completely tilted after a blunder is remarkable.
Why did he have to give up the F pawn?
To line up the knight and bishop, I guess, just to sort of force things. If the bishop is on G5, you can play knight D2. No problem.
Oh, because in this way, this is so gross. He did this. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Wow. I mean, I was just locked in on that he has to give away at least the exchange, but now Hikaru has to find his way. And we have seen there are sometimes moments Hikaru does get an advantage in little games like this, but then, he's happy to simplify and just make a draw in the first game with black effortlessly. But now he has to play for a win, and he might also get low on time, Aman. It's not over at all.
I can't believe that Magnus even had an out there. Truly, this is insane. First of all, that he found it, or that it was even there, and now it's almost psychological because look, he had to give it back. It's only really one pawn, and yes, it's a big advantage, Levy, but truly, it's only one pawn in opposite bishop endgame. And how did he do that? Magic.
Yeah, like it's just a pawn. I mean, the game looked over. It looked like he absolutely had to lose a rook. And this might be one of those games, by the way. This is exactly what I'm talking about. Now Hikaru has to summon it within himself, Aman, to win this game down a full minute. And I'm not sure he's going to be able to do it.
G4, you can even play like, King G2, Rook, F2, put pressure on the F7 pawn. This is insane. It's almost equal. Magnus just played a move that should be game over, pinned, taken. He finds F4, Rook D4. I don't know what the right continuation there was. Hikaru couldn't find it in the mere, minute that he spent. That's insane. I don't know how he just did that.
When he played knight d2, I looked at the position. I went, you pin the knight to the rook, and white has to lose an exchange. And now Magnus has just, like the Terminator, summoned himself back. And he's almost doubled up Hikaru's time. Hikaru is burning the time now because he can't believe what's gone wrong. He was supposed to be easily winning.
And there's no increment as well. So, obviously he can make a draw whenever he wants. It's Hikaru's in control. But just saying, you don't even have time to play for here.
No, not at all. I think Hikaru will be trying to, within the next minute, make a draw, because if he doesn't, there's enough pieces on the board to lose on time. We've been talking about this whole concept the whole day, and Hikaru hasn't lost on time in any of the games, but that's the threat of no increment, and now it's just equal.
That's crazy. That is so crazy. Opposite bishops. If the rooks get traded, immediate draw. We know that for sure. So it's the presence of the rooks on the board that are giving Hikaru any chances. But, I mean, let's be real. Are the chances really better for Hikaru here?
But that's a draw.
I don't know that they are.
That's a draw offer. King h6, a draw offer.
Yeah, he's not trying to win this anymore. And if anything, rook b6, bishop d5, don't you have to be a little careful?
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I mean, time is ticking, right?
Yeah, and I don't know if Magnus is going to dirty flag Hikaru.
No, I don't. I definitely don't think so, especially not from here. It's just not necessary. It's game 1 of 4, so I think a draw is more likely. Yeah.
Yeah. Now Black puts the bishop the a5, b6, and you make a draw.
Wild. Completely insane. I don't know how Magnus just blundered, like such an obvious blunder. He looked like he was ready to give up the game, almost resign on the spot. He finds a continuation that to this moment, I don't know what was missed. It just felt like I watched a magic trick. Like,
and pre-moves, draw. Both guys breathe a sigh. Nobody's happy, Aman. Hikaru shaking his head, Magnus unhappy. That's how you know we're watching a chess match.
Magnus has a wry smile. He knows that, like,